Hello my peculiars and welcome back or welcome to my peculiar corner if you're new here. My name is Andy and here we are at yet another magical Friday encounter. I hope you're well. I'm getting better from my cold or whatever the virus was, so I'm happy for that because I can't wait to just be able to go out for a walk, for a cycling trip, because now finally the weather it's nicer. It's still quite cloudy and rainy in some days. Saturday we had snow in the morning, but it is better than it was, and I'm so happy that finally we have light until later so I can just film for you, because we still don't have electricity, like lights. We have electricity but not lights. Anyway, this week finally I'm gonna get to show you something that I've been so looking forward to show you, and it's another book from the natural history collection, and it's a natural history of fairies. Finally we are getting to discover all the fairies, all about fairies. I'm gonna do the flip through. I really hope that the way I'm gonna set up the camera, it's gonna be okay for you to see, even better than last video. But yeah, without further ado, let's crack on with the show and dive into the world of fairies. Here I am back and ready to show you what's this book about. Now, as you can see, it keeps the same, more or less same design as the other books, which I really love, but this one is green, and this is the cover, and then I'm just gonna read for you from the back. Dear reader, are you ready for a magical journey like no other? Then look no further. Fairies are all around us. You just need to look carefully. Perhaps you've already been lucky enough to see one fluttering at the bottom of your garden or hiding away in your attic. Compiled by the esteemed botanist Professor Arbor, this beautiful book was left to her goddaughter to help her discover the secret life of fairies and the special role they play in the natural world. Featuring precise notes and intricate sketches, these pages reveal the different species of fairy from around the globe, exploring where and how they live. From fairy anatomy, camouflage, and languages to their life cycle and habitats, this delicately illustrated album illuminates a hidden world that will delight fairy lovers everywhere. As you can see, it's beautiful gold foiling. I hope that the light does it justice. I'm not sure, it's quite dark outside, but let's just dive into the world of fairies now. Now, I really hope that you can see everything. Again, I had to improvise with the way my phone is, set up and everything. Here again, as we had in the other books, this book belongs to, so we have a very nice place to write down our name. And then here it starts, A Natural History of Fairies, from the notebook of Professor Elsie Arbor. Here, if you want to pause, you can see the contents of the book. And then we start with some letters, keeping the same format like we had in the other books. We have some letters. If you want to pause and take a look, I really hope that I am filming properly and my phone is properly focusing on the right pages. And then look at this beauty. We have The Secret Life of Fairies. Very beautiful. Here we have habitats in danger. I heard a lot of stories that say that fairies really exist, and I really do believe that they exist, but they are hiding away from us because a lot of people are cutting the trees and so on, and deforestation, it's something common, pollution and everything, unfortunately. So the fairies and the spirits of the forest are just hiding away from us. Here we have, what are fairies? Then, as we are accustomed, we have here the regnomes, and then where we have fairies situated. It's so nicely done. We have each kingdom, and then the class, the order, the family, the genus, and the species. Very beautifully illustrated by Jessica Rooks. Then we have the anatomy of a fairy, and this is the holy blue fairy. Look how beautiful, the colors, everything. Then we have fairy flight here. It explains everything in a lot of detail. Then we have fairy wings, As you can see, they are numbered, no, yeah, let's say numbered, and then each is explained up here. For example, we have I, it's a river sprite. Then we have J, and it's a queen fairy. Very beautifully illustrated and a lot of attention to all the details. Then we have the life cycle of a fairy, and here it's explained: dryad, river sprite, wicklow fairy, and then we have the swallowtail fairy. How beautifully, look at these babies, they are just so gorgeously done. We can even see here a river sprite, which looks a bit like a mermaid. Very, very beautiful. And then we have clever camouflage. Of course, fairies have to protect themselves because they definitely have a lot of enemies. Compared to mermaids, I would say they have even more enemies because, you know, they are so small and fragile. And then we have fairies of the world, and here you have it split like we know from the mermaids book. We have Europe, we have North America, South America, then we have Africa, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica, because we have fairies everywhere, of course. Then we have fairy habitats. Now fairies are living everywhere, so you have desert fairies, you have jungles, you have gardens, then you have human houses. They are everywhere. We just need to open our eyes, believe, and we will see. You know, I love, there is one quote that says, those who don't believe in magic will never find it, so you better believe. Now we have meadow and garden fairies. Again, very beautiful illustrations. Here it's explaining even the fairies, you know, based on each season. We have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And again, we have, if you remember from the mermaids video, which by the way I'm gonna link in the description box, as well as the link to the first video, Natural History of Magical Beasts. I'm gonna link there the video, so you can just go click on the link and see the other two videos if you are curious about this collection. We have here the habitat, and then we have features, then we have the home, then we have the behavior for each fairy. Then we have more meadow and garden fairies. And some of examples, let's see. I hope I can see properly. So yeah, we have wild time fairy, and then we have, let's see, it's quite hard for me to read from here. So we have the meadow fairy. Then next we have woodland fairies. Of course, here we have even the bookmark. Again, we have it the same with the habitat, the home features, behavior. Now here we have more woodland fairies. Look at these illustrations, guys. Like, this is just next level fantasy, next level inspiration, imagination, and creativity. Then we have mountain and hill fairies. I hope I'm keeping it enough for you. You can always pause if you want to see better the illustrations. Then we have more mountains and hill fairies. As you can see, they are very beautifully illustrated. And then we have marine and coastal fairies, which are so beautiful. I'm pretty sure that they are probably friends with the mermaids, right? That's how I would say. I always think that magical beings and spirits and fantastical beasts, and they all live in such a nice and close communication and environment, you know, very different from how we people are, that usually we just try to, you know, take over and so on. Then we have jungle fairies, again, very beautiful. I love how they are inspired by different species of butterflies. I love butterflies a lot. Then we have more jungle fairies, and I have to show you, this is my favorite, one of my most favorite butterflies, and also of course fairy. It's a very, I love the colors of that butterfly and everything. I need to do something inspired by that. Then we have desert and savanna fairies. Look at these very, very nice colors. They remind me of the sunsets during a very hot day during summer. Then we have the polar fairies. So we go all the way to Antarctica. Then we have house fairies. We can always build houses to keep, you know, the fairies, to keep houses in the forest for the fairies. If we have a forest or in our garden, if we build a little house, maybe the fairies are gonna visit us. Then we have life in fairyland. And then we have different behaviors and what fairies are doing in their daily life. Then we have fairies and plants. Of course, they are in very strong connection with nature, like any other fantastic and magical beasts or beings. Fairies are also very connected to nature. And again, very educational. Here you can see a leaf identification chart. So, you know, this is going to be so helpful even for you as an adult. Maybe I don't know, maybe you don't have a forest close to you and you have to, you know, travel for a long distance to reach a forest. But nevertheless, this is going to teach you which leaf belongs to which tree. So by the time you're going to get to go to a forest, you can definitely identify the trees, which I find very educational and very, very cool. Now, the next we have a poison garden, and we have different, now I'm going to show you like this, which I hope you'll see. And I'm going to do this. I'm really looking forward to see if you are going to be able to see this, because it's the other way around. And here we have different plants. We have aconite, belladonna, foxglove, fly agaris, I hope I'm pronouncing correctly, hemlock, laurel, lords and ladies, and obviously the mandrake. So these are poisonous. Foxglove, I can tell you guys, we have foxglove. It's just growing naturally here in our region. Our region is protected, by the way, so we have a lot of plants and animals that are protected by law. So, and the area, it's called the Iron Mountains. And yeah, we have foxglove. Actually, we have one plant in our garden. Every year it grows in the same spot, and I know that it's very dangerous. So if you see foxglove, stay away from it. It's very beautiful to take a picture of and watch it, but it's dangerous. Then we have fairies and animals. Of course, they are in connection with animals as well. All nature is connected. We just need to open our heart and eyes and see. Then, of course, the fairies, they also have foes, because this is the circle of life, right? So we have here some animals or plants that are very dangerous for fairies. Then we have fairy language and secret scripts. And we also even have an alphabet of fairies, which is so beautifully done, and hidden messages on the page. So I can't wait to dive into the book and actually discover those. Then we have a guide to finding fairies. So once you're going to study all the fairies, you can also go on a field trip into the forest. Now you also know the trees, you know the type of trees, you see you know the animals that fairies are friends with. You also know the animals that are foes. And here we have a last letter, some pictures from the field trips, of course the thanks at the end, and the end of the book itself. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this flip through. I'm gonna go and put this back to the Hogwarts library, and we are gonna see each other in a couple of seconds. Here I am back, and I really hope that you enjoyed a lot today's video. I really love going through the book again. Every time I'm going through these books, I feel like I'm discovering something new every time. They are unbelievably beautiful and well designed and illustrated and full of creativity, imagination, very educational. I don't have enough words to describe how happy I am that I managed to find this collection. We have to thank to Emily Hawkins and Jessica Rooks from bringing to life such an amazing book. And definitely, you know, I'm sure that if you are gonna get the copy, you are gonna be more than happy. Now in the description box, I'm gonna put the links to the shops that from where you can get the book, as well as the details for my Instagram account. You can always go there and see more peculiar pictures because I love photography, you already know that. And don't forget to subscribe, follow, like my pictures and also my video if you want to help me just, you know, grow a bit more. But I'm always happy to just share with you just a bit of the magic of my peculiar corner. But until next week, don't forget 2 very important things. Stay magical, stay peculiar, always. Bye for now.